Hello, hello. Can you hear me?
There he
What's
is.
up, man? How are you?
Hi, Dick. My birthday was a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, you're kind of roboting out. Say something. Say something else.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, okay. Your birthday was
Can
a
you
couple weeks
hear me?
ago?
No. Yeah, I went go-karting.
Did you? How was it?
Yeah. I went to this place called Nitro Kart, and when I went over to the guy who was behind the counter, I told him it was my birthday today. He was like, "Congrats, you get to ride for free then." So
Oh.
he takes me over to the Helina display case, and the first thing I realized is that my head is because they had to give me their biggest helmet they had, which was 4XL. So they give me this Darth Vader helmet to put on my head, and the first thing I then notice is that I might actually be fatter than Vito, because when I sat in this go-kart, something didn't feel right. Like a gargoyle with like a stone up his butt, because when I sat in this chair, I'm like, why do I feel like I'm way too damn big for this go-kart right now? So the guy who ran the store went over to me and is like, "Sir, I want you to understand that we do not like have any prejudice towards fat people who drive go-karts, but like I'm gonna really need you to suck your chest in. Yeah, I'm gonna need you to suck your chest in if you want to ride the go-kart, because I can't have you ride the go-kart without a seat."
Oh my god.
So, being very understanding about this, I sucked my chest in and I forced the buckle in. It was a little tight, but I got it to work.
Is that safe?
So, these go-karts go about 60 miles an hour.
Less with
So,
him.
when I saw the turn I can, my first thought was,
They
all
do
right,
not
I
go
got this
60
chair
miles
that's
an hour.
right in my ass right now. And I'm hoping to God I can reach the fucking brake and accelerator pedal. I was a little off when trying to hit the brake when trying to hit this turn, because I then veered off course and then crashed into a wall.
Yeah.
Oh
Did the wall
God.
stand up?
Yeah.
Did you flip your cart?
The guy went over to me. It's like, all right, we might have a little bit of a problem if you can't hit the accelerator and the brake right, but I'm gonna need you to try really hard to not crash into any more walls. But other than that, I had like 2 free races.
Oh.
Well, damn.
Sounds like a fun birthday.
It was a fun birthday. I had fun.
Oh, that's good. I have your Did you get everyone's clothes that they sent you, by the way? The belts too? Have you been using the belts?
I have. They're very nice.
It's wrapped around a.
I use them when I go into.
Have you been using the belt for belt purposes, like normal belt purposes? Not weird purposes?
Yeah, they go well with the fucking khakis and slacks you guys sent.
Yeah, is all that still is it still like not it doesn't have any holes in it? All your pants that we got you?
No. The only thing that has holes is the belt, because the belt is supposed to have holes in it.
Okay. So everything else is working?
Yeah, everything else is working great. I had a great birthday. I got a lot of free art on my birthday. I went go-karting. I thought of you. And yeah, everything went well.
It's nice of you. What kind of free art did you get?
Oh, I got all kinds of free art. I got a bunch of art from my friends in the art stream. In fact, one art piece, I'll show right now if I can get my computer to load fast enough. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it was a very... Here it is. Where should I put this? Should I just post this in general?
Yeah, put it in general. What is it, Wonderbread stuff that you're getting? Or
I mean, what else would it be?
Yeah, I don't know. You have a lot of particular tastes. Drop it in there.
I just remember Wonderbread.
You just remember, yeah. That's the most iconic.
That's the headline. Yeah, that's the.
So before I post this, Dick, are you familiar with an anime called Bleach?
No. I mean, I know of the name, but I don't know what it is.
Oh, well, and this might be fucking, off your head then, because I had somebody send me this.
Okay.
I posted it in general.
Okay, I'm loading it.
Yeah.
It's a redheaded girl with huge tits eating a loaf of Wonderbread. I mean, I don't need to know the specifics to appreciate this picture that you're showing me. Her mouth is...
the orange-haired girl, her name is Orihime. She's a character from Bleach.
Okay.
Yeah.
And she's chewing through the wrapper. Is that important?
Yeah.
She's biting through the wrapper.
No, my friend thought it would be... There's a scene in Bleach where Orihime brings like a gigantic fucking thing of bread with her to school, and she literally just munches on it like a muffin. So my friend who drew this thought it'd be funny. It's like, it'd be funny, where instead of her just opening the bag, she just eats it like a goat, the way a goat would chew on a tin can. So he drew me that. Yeah.
Now he's working on a goat chewing on a tin can.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool. Hey, did you know that Riley went to jail? He got arrested Because of Eric July? Did you know about that?
Oh yeah, there's a guy. There's a guy in your server named Travis Touchdown who was telling me about that, and I was
Yeah.
telling Travis a story where I mistook Riley for a girl, and he laughed.
You mistook Riley for a girl? Why?
So do you remember when I went on your show the first time? I don't know if you remember this or not, but there was a woman in the room with you, and I thought that woman who was in the room with you was Riley, and then I believed that for years until Riley sat me down and said, "Murr, that was a completely different person. I'm a boy." I'm like, oh. Yeah.
Yeah, you know Mint, Riley and Mint, right? You know them?
Yeah.
He does now.
It's real unfortunate that happened, though. Yeah.
Yeah, what do you think? What should we do to raise money for Riley, for his legal fund?
Oh, I'm glad you mentioned that, because I was also bringing this up with Travis right now. I was telling Travis that I wanted to do a charity event with Vito where the both of us have a sumo wrestling match.
Okay.
Charity could just go to whatever.
How much do you weigh?
See, I've been having arguments with my friends lately about how Vito is apparently thinner than me, and I want to challenge that, so I figured what better way to do that than to challenge Vito to a sumo match. You see, I've watched MXC.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've watched MXC. I've watched Takeshi's Castle. We can draw a circle in the dirt, and we can both just push each other into, like, a fucking starting line or whatever. See, I thought we could, like, make it a bit different because, you know, we could, like, make a circle, and then we could have, like, a moat between that circle so one of us gets pushed into a thing of water.
I think they should see who can use a seatbelt on a go-kart.
Who can do a seatbelt faster?
I challenge you to do a go-kart race for charity.
Yeah.
Who can put a belt on faster?
Right.
Yeah.
Listen,
Who can
if
change
Vito
pants
wants to go to
faster?
Nitro Kart and challenge me to a go-kart race for charity and in honor of Riley, we can do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
We do like
I'm
a
an
fat guy
open-minded
Olympics.
kind of guy.
We have like 5 of the, like, 6 of the fattest guys ever and just have like fat guy challenges for them to do. Take your pants on and off, you know? Put
Look, you've seen the scene. You've seen the scene from Smiling Friends where the two big fat guys are fighting over the ham. That could be me and Vito.
Yeah, that could be. Has Vito agreed to it at all? Because he's very lazy.
Vito's blocked him.
I know. I've been trying to motivate him into it. I mean, like,
That's a rough.
I don't want to like be.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to be like super approachable about him about it. I just think it'd be a fun idea. Yeah.
Yeah, it would be a fun idea. Both of you with wearing sumo wrestling diapers, fighting on a moat. That would be fun. I would enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you did hear about it, Riley's thing?
Did hear about it. It's very unfortunate. You seem to have a Legion of Doom group of people who all seem to hate you for some reason, for whatever reason or another.
It's having too much fun.
That's true.
Too much fun.
I do have a Legion of Doom group of people who are trying to. I don't know what they really want all of us to go to prison or die or something. Isn't that crazy?
Die in prison.
Or die in prison. Yeah. Did you hear about Nick Rekieta?
If we do this. Oh yeah, I did hear about that. I also heard you had a pube sent to you in your box, which is disgusting.
Yeah, have you heard of the Sonichu thing? The Sonichu medallion curse?
Yeah, I heard how whenever anybody gets a Sonichu totem sent to them, they apparently get cursed. Yeah. So I initially thought I should make Wonderbread totems to be like a counter curse.
Oh, would you? Would you make those out of Sculpey? Can you?
Only if we're allowed to call them merchandise or merch.
Yeah, I think we can do that. MURR.
Yeah, why not?
I mean,
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, over at my volunteer place, I found a bunch of like Crayola model magic clay, but I don't have like a clay press like how Chris was using his for the Sonichu medallions. I mean, like I have the clay, I just don't know how to morph it into like a bread-like shape.
He was using a press?
I think he was using his fingers. Yeah, what it looks like.
And his cock.
Yeah.
I thought he had like a weird Play-Doh machine because he had like a whole set.
You know what? You're probably right because it is way too accurate.
Well, the front of it looks a lot better than the back, which he just shoved.
Yeah, the back is like shoved in.
You could see his fingerprints. I mean,
maybe
we know how
like
he did it, like
press.
the back.
You can't need a Sonic totem the way you need something like a pizza or even bread.
Yeah.
You need something like to mend it into a shape. Yeah.
So what would you make? Yeah. What's your anti-curse thing?
The Wonderbread.
Just Wonderbread?
I would probably make either like... All right, so his is like a picture of Sonichu, so it'd probably be like a blonde white woman's face or like even a thing of Wonderbread. You know, just something that'll just make the curse like bounce back, like the way a check would bounce at a restaurant.
Okay, yeah.
Have you thought about making like a white woman's face with like Wonderbread polka dots on it.
Oh yeah.
You know, like
It seems a little. That would require a lot of clay, and I don't know if it would look right. It would just kind of look like a woman's dying of cancer.
But
yeah,
that
would
wouldn't
be stupid.
But that wouldn't do anything for you. I'm just saying. I'm trying to understand.
Yeah.
Because I was gonna say, it would have to fit. Like maybe I can mold it into the shape of a chainsaw. That'd be like gray Play-Doh and red Play-Doh. Yeah.
Okay, so I have your. What do you think of the Nick Rekieta thing, by the way?
I am a little disappointed that his son tested for cocaine. I don't even know how you even get 25 grams.
His daughter.
I don't even know how it's possible that you can even get a hold of 25 grams of cocaine. I remember one time I went to a dispensary and I fucking hated everything that smelled in there. So the fact that he had 25 grams of cocaine on him is just crazy.
You went to a
and I lived with drug addicts for 10 years.
What do you mean you went to a dispensary?
I went to a weed dispensary.
Well, they smell differently. I mean, cocaine smells way worse. Yeah.
Does cocaine have a smell? It kind of looks like, laundry detergent, like powdered laundry detergent.
Doesn't smell like, it smells like gasoline. Probably because of the mix of the cutting agents.
Yeah,
it has a very
my only reference
smell.
point for cocaine was that scene from Aqua Teen where fucking Carl was describing mental floss. It was like, back in the 80s when we used to make cocaine with bleach.
Yeah.
I'm like, I know I've heard the story of people like, shorting cocaine by mixing it with stuff like baby powder and God knows what. Because I've seen people try to make meth out of battery acid. Yeah.
You've seen people making meth out of battery acid? I'm asking you because you have a lot of experience in like foster homes and shit. So what do you think about Nick's situation? That's why I'm asking.
I feel like I don't know how the hell his daughter of all people ended up like getting a hold of that unless it was just spread out fucking everywhere. I mean, I remember when I lived at my old apartment complex, I knew all kinds of drug addicts who were so burnt out that they wouldn't even lock the doors to their room.
Yeah.
Like you could literally just gently push their door open, you just find them like mid-overdose on the ground. I remember one guy.
Did you do that? Just push it open and peek at them?
No, never.
No? Oh.
I mean, like, they would have their doors open, and then, like, I would just look at them, and they would just be, like, all tweaked out and burnt out. Like, it was fucking horrible. Like, it was just sad.
Yeah.
I don't even know where you find some of these people. It's like they were living in dumpsters before they moved here. They act like this apartment's a prison, and they can't leave. But, like, no, you can leave whenever you want. No one's keeping you here.
And you're just snooping. It's like a bunch of drug addicts, and then also you, and you're snooping around. Like, you don't do any drugs, right?
No, I knew a lot of people who used to do drugs in the kitchen. I knew a lot of people who used to do drugs in the laundry room. But, I lived with these people. I didn't do anything with them because I saw what it was making them become, and it was horrifying.
Yeah.
Like, if you've ever watched shit like fucking Train Spotting, like, it's like that, but worse. Yeah.
Okay. What was the worst one you saw? What's one of the worst ones you saw?
Black tar heroin. Yeah.
How'd that go? Yeah. Who was the black tar heroin guy?
I remember the day I moved in. It was my first day. I walked over to the guy, said hi. He ran over to me, started screaming. It's like, who the hell do you think you are coming near my door? I'm like, I was just saying hi. Yeah. That was day one of 10 years. Yeah.
How are you? Why do you have to deal with these situations that, like, I mean, no one would be equipped to deal with these. Least of all, no offense, but least of all you. And you got to deal with a black tar heroin junkie screaming at you the first day you're living with him?
Yeah.
Oh.
I've known black tar heroin addicts. I've known cocaine addicts. I've known Molly addicts. I've lived with all of them in the same place for like 10 years.
Oh my God. What was the difference between them? The Molly addicts and the cocaine addicts?
Well, I knew one guy who pretty much gave himself brain damage after doing a lot of it all at once, and he was so fucked up that he literally just stopped bathing after a while. He literally smelled like a shit monster. I knew one guy who gave...
This was in your apartment? This was in your, how many people lived in this apartment together? Or was it like a building?
He means a complex.
So this apartment complex had like 30 people living in it all in one time. There were some rooms that you would have to buy for yourself. Yeah. And there were other rooms that you could either pay double for if you want to keep for yourself. Otherwise, if you paid less, you would have to have a roommate. I can't even imagine being in the room you have to have a roommate in. Just living in a place like this all together. It sounds fucking horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you've never had to have a roommate.
No. When I lived at my old apartment complex for 10 years, I had dorm mates. Yeah. It wasn't the same. Like, we shared a bathroom. I had one guy who poured paint in my toilet and paint in my sink. And then when he got off his high, he was like, why the hell is there paint in the bathroom? Yeah.
Why do you do that? Why did he do that, do you think?
He got fucked on meth. He was fucked on meth for like 2 weeks, and then he got off of it, and he looked in the bathroom and was like, why the hell is there paint everywhere? Yeah.
I've heard that that meth guys will just like jack off all the time. Like they just nothing feels
They're constantly
better.
horny.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Like it's like they can't subconsciously reach their dopamine receptors, so they're just kind of like they're desensitized in a way where they can't feel anything, like both on a physical and like on a spiritual level. It's like they're dead. Like, I know people like to use the NPC meme, but like they are just, they're not even people anymore. You look at them and you like, nothing. The light's out.
Yeah.
It's like a light bulb that went out.
What about
I've also seen people smoke meth out of light bulbs. Yeah.
You saw someone smoke meth out of a light bulb?
Yeah.
It's glass, right? I mean,
Why not? This is happening in the courtyard of your apartment complex that you're living in?
Front desk.
Front desk?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, the people who were working at my apartment complex, they had a lot of rules, and they didn't enforce any of the rules, but they had one golden rule, which was if you touch anybody, like, if you physically assault anybody, you're done.
Right.
But everything else between, like, doing drugs in your room, doing drugs in the hallway, you're going to get, like, a stern lecturing. Like, imagine, like, a 1950s elementary school teacher just going, oh, you naughty boy, you need to stop that. But no, fighting, absolutely over the line. But doing drugs, not their problem. Yeah.
Well, I mean, this is America. That's fine. 10 years you lived like that?
Yeah.
What was the
Molly?
Molly?
I would come home, my whole fucking building would smell like weed. Like, every room had like some kind of brown weed being just smoked. It's funny, like the dirtiest bathroom that you've ever sat in smells better than my apartment complex.
You lived there for 10 years?
Yeah. I lived there from 21 to 29.
When did you move?
Let's see. I was in a different fucking charity place that I was living in for a year, and then when I turned 21, I then moved there, and then I think I met Dick like a year later, and then I was living there every other day up until I was still living there. I think the third time I went on Dick's show.
Yeah, you were.
When Dick remembers when I was on the show and I was depressed, that was back when COVID was over and it was time to tell all the people to get the fuck out of the apartment because they want to get new people in because there's only an age limit for how long I remember this call. There.
Yeah.
And that was when I was telling Dick, Dick, I don't know how to tell you this or not, but I think I'm hitting the point where I'm hitting a pursuit of happiness moment where I might be homeless soon.
Yeah.
And that was when I asked you guys to send me the clothes.
Yeah.
Because that was when they told me, Murray, you're 28 years old. You're 4 years past your go-by date, and I don't know why the hell you're still here, but you got to go. That apartment complex shut down because of money laundering.
Oh, shocker.
Yeah,
shocker. They got a bunch of people who are too drugged up to stop in anything, to say anything or notice anything,
right?
And they're stealing money.
Yeah. That's probably supposed to go
classic
to
government program, right?
Yeah.
Only slightly better than the for profit prisons and such that will do it directly.
Yeah.
Like where profit is, the money laundering is just called profit.
Yes.
Right? That's amazing. Okay, so you
I once saw a guy literally snort Zoloft. Yeah.
Why Zoloft?
Thought it was something else.
Because he just had it. He wanted to snort something, and he had, like, medication, but, that's all he had.
Yeah.
As somebody who's been on Zoloft, I can't even fucking imagine snorting that. I was on 980 milligrams of Zoloft and 780 milligrams of Seroquel once. So the idea of someone, like, crushing that up and snorting it is crazy.
Yeah, that's an odd one.
Yeah, what's the most you ever saw someone do? Like the most heroin or Molly or whatever?
Well, I knew a guy who went into the building and overdosed during his housing interview, literally in front of the landlord, and she went to tour once, and she was like,
hold on.
Yeah, she literally
couldn't even hold it together for the
guy overdosing and told him to go outside saying the tour is over. Yeah.
Wait, sorry, I was laughing. Say that again. Is a he or a she that overdosed? A man or a woman? A he. Okay, so he went into the housing interview to get a place at this drug den. Which ultimately turned out to be a scam.
Oh, yeah, right.
And he got a tour of the apartments and overdosed during the tour?
Yeah, he overdosed during the tour. And then when the people came to come and, detox him, he came back and he overdosed again. This guy was overdosing like every other day of the week. Yeah.
What did he look like?
Young, like 20s, just depressed. I felt bad for the guy. I'm like, I don't know how you could be that young and just mentally stop caring about life.
Oh, it's pretty easy.
Yeah. Did he?
I had a guy who had gangrene in his fucking foot because he stopped bathing after a while.
Jesus. Why'd he stop bathing?
drugs.
Because he was mentally brain dead. You take drugs all day, you stop caring.
Yeah. Wow, overdosing twice
Wow.
on your housing
Right,
interview.
the interview is the
so rough. At least it won't happen again.
Right.
Right.
Well,
Give me another chance.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a little. What did he overdose on? Do you know?
It was probably Molly, because I remember he had a friend living there who was psychotic, who went to prison for stabbing an Uber driver, and
On Molly?
he would go into his room, and he would open the door because the door was never locked, and he would find the guy like mid-overdose, and he would just loot through his stuff and take his stuff. You see, back then...
Bro, how did you live like this for 10 years with people looting? It's like you're describing just like basically...
Like Skid Row.
Skid Row, but with walls.
Yeah,
like, what the fuck, man?
So I have a PDF file on the place. I think I sent it to you. Did you ever read it?
I don't remember seeing it.
Yeah, maybe. Where'd you send it to me? On email or?
I emailed it to you.
Okay, let me look.
I mean, I still have it if you want it. Yeah.
Yeah, email it to me again or DM it to me right now. I have your grandpa's book.
Oh,
to a children's village. Grandpa to a children's village with me. You sent me this book and you sent me a nice note.
Yeah, I sent you that because I wanted to give you more context of what the village was like. Believe me, the 6 years I lived at the village was bad, but the 10 years I lived at my old apartment complex was worse. Yeah.
Man, the shit that you have seen is just like, and you're saying it is like normal, is really crazy.
Yeah.
I could write 100 stories about stuff I've seen. I've seen some horror. You were talking about foster youth earlier?
Yeah.
Bro, as someone who's been in the foster system, it's worse than you think. It's the legal equivalent
I believe it.
of trafficking. Yeah.
I believe it.
The legal equivalent to trafficking, you said?
Yeah, because you have a government agent coming to your house telling you that your parents are retarded and that you have to go with these strangers to a place that you don't want to go to. So they take you there and they bring you to a place full of people who you don't know or don't respect or have any kind of like understanding of, and they go and they treat you like shit. I lived in a foster home that was filled with people who were all fired for being too rough in a juvenile hall, so they went to a foster home.
Wait, the whole house was run by too rough juvenile hall, like
seeing all
wardens?
all the kids there, I think.
Oh, all the kids there, or all the parents?
There's a foster home that I live right. There was a foster home that I went to when I was 11. It was right next to a juvenile detention center, and there were a bunch of people there who got fired from the juvenile detention center for how they were treating the youth.
So they then
got a job at a foster home that was literally right next door to the place they got fired from.
What do you mean they got a job at the foster home? It's not like
they left there. They got a job there immediately because they needed people to just work there, and they treated the youth there the same way.
Yeah, I mean, we're thinking like foster. We're thinking like family. Like
but it's not like that. I'm thinking like Shazam. Did you see Shazam?
I didn't.
No.
That's like a Hollywood foster
documentary.
Yeah.
We had a whole economic system there. It was called the point system, where every day you would wake up and you'd have to make something called points, which is like, if you ever heard like of the joke of good boy points, this is essentially what this is. So you had to make 10,000 points a day, because if you didn't, they would put you on. Yeah.
I was thinking he was going to say like 5.
This was my life for 3 months until I went to the children's
teaching
village.
math. Too.
Yeah. So basically, what they would do is that they would say you have to get a bare quota of 10,000 points a day.
How can you get
every
point?
amount of point you would get would be. Yeah. So your points would be
sorry. Or else what? What happens if you
don't?
don't get 10,000 points? What happens if you don't get 10,000 points? They throw you out?
So there's a litter system there, right? And the bare minimum of what they want you to get is P+, and P+ is essentially, it's like, oh, you met your quota for today, so we're not going to, baba you unless you feel like you're doing something that we don't approve of. But if you get put on P-, you're going to have a horrible fucking day today, because P- is for people who literally cannot just, follow the rules or meet their point quota, because P- is when all of the people who work at the center are going to be giving you shit all day. Because
what kind of shit?
If you don't meet your point quota,
slapping your penis? What's going on? What's giving you shit in a foster home?
So giving you shit is that if they feel like if you're constantly on P-, or if you didn't meet your quota, you're a problem child, which is a horrible mindset to think of, because the child is already terrified of being here. He doesn't want to be here. So when you put them on P-, they're already in the mental headspace of like, they already hate me already. So what good is there?
Yeah.
So eventually you then go from P- to O, which is observation. And what observation means is that they take you, they put you in your room, and they lock the door, and you're there all day.
Man, that's
like you're not
that's
allowed
my fantasy.
to leave.
How can I get an O rating at my own house?
Yeah.
That'd be fucking amazing. Were there actually bad kids there? Like, because you seem like you're a good kid.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah. No. What were the bad kids?
favorite story I had at this foster home was when I sat down on like a fucking set of swings, and there was a guy sitting right next to me, and we both looked at each other. He was looking at me, and then he picked up a rock, and then he threw it at a window. And then when a staff came out and said, "Who the fuck threw this rock?"
Murr did.
He pointed at me, and then I got B-. I wanted to
They
kill
just
him.
believed him?
Like when they dragged my ass to my room, I'm like, "You're dead. Do you hear me? I will fucking find you.
Kill you. I'll fucking never forget this, what you did to me. Murr. Oh my God. You're like living in a fucking nightmare, dude.
Yeah, you take. I mean, it's
This is so fucked.
Yeah, and you wonder why people come out like if you
How do you
watch,
kn- how
if
are
you
you
watch
not a
interviews
shooter?
with people who are like addicts or been homeless for a while, stuff like that, and the people who are mentally aware,
Yeah.
like without exception, fucking horrific shit happened to them in their childhoods. Like it's
But
just
horrific shit happened to him too, and he's fine.
well,
I mean, ish.
Yeah, no, I mean
He knows the difference between right and wrong.
Yeah, and you're not
he's trying to do right.
You're not an addict. Yeah, somewhere along the line, you picked up some good things. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I feel
what?
like the reason why I haven't lost my mind yet is because I developed a healthy focus group, and I think Dick becoming my friend is what helped with that.
No, you've lost your mind. You're just still a good person, I think. There's a difference.
Yeah, somewhere in there's a morality and a
What were some other bad kids? Like that? What happened to that kid too that framed you? That little fucker. Let's find him and kick the shit out
So
of
the
him.
day the kid threw the rock at the window and I got P- was the day I was going to go to the children's village because Lord knows if I had to spend one more fucking day at Valley of the Moon, I was going to kill someone.
Valley of the Moon, Children's Village.
Why do they call them curses?
Yeah.
Valley of the Moon. It sounds like a Twilight movie.
Yeah.
Valley of the Moon.
Or like
So,
Native American.
One initial thought that you or Sean might be having right now is like, how did the kids not just immediately think about running away? No, they did. You see, what they would do is that they would build a set of fences that were just tall enough for a kid to climb over and then go to the other side and then like make a break for it. The problem was, because of how Valley of the Moon is built, there's miles and miles and miles of road. And if you don't have any bus money or a car or any kind of like method to get anywhere, you're hitchhiking. So by the time you get all the way down the fucking hill, there's already a police officer literally just like patiently waiting for you to get there because you're going back up. Eventually, you get so sick of being at Valley of the Moon, they take you to juvenile hall. So now you feel like you're being punished even worse. Yeah.
Right.
And don't they? I've heard
It's
cases.
like a revolving door.
Yeah, I've heard cases where cops or judges will get kickbacks for sending kids to juvenile hall because the juvenile halls are like for profit.
Wouldn't surprise.
Oh, they'll just like sentence. Yeah, juvie. Send him to juvie. Send him to juvie. Did you hear anything about that? Or
So
did that happen? Go ahead.
So I had a point quota of like 10,000 points every day, and I learned something really fucked up about these points is that not only can you
they're
fucking have them,
they're
you can
fucked up already. Already making someone in their mind wake up thinking that they're at a deficit of behavior is massively abusive.
Big time.
Massively abusive. This is like psychotic concentration camp level shit. This is like Skinner box CIA torture, what you're describing. It's completely
one person
deranged that
pointed
this is
out that
happening.
I had acquired. Yeah, I had one person point out that I had met my point quota every single day for the 3 months that I had met there, and then I learned that you can actually trade these points in for stuff in a closet. Now, what's fucked up is that this closet used to be a lost and found, so all the stuff in that closet used to belong to someone that you can trade your points in to take from someone.
Yeah.
So I went in there and I was told it's like, you just spend whatever you want here. It's like, this sounds like commissary. Like, where you just grind up good boy points in there and then you can buy something in there. But I felt a little bad because this used to belong to someone, but now it belongs to me. And I feel like, some kid's probably really mad he didn't get to take this with him. I didn't even get to take any of the stuff I had when I bought the stuff in the point closet.
What did you get in the point closet? What did you get?
PS1 in there that used to belong to a kid in there, and I grabbed that, and I felt like such a hero to the people who were in my room because I brought that. I was like, this is for everyone to play with. And everyone came to me, and we all hugged, and it was great. Like, honest to God, Lord of the Flies shit. It's like, we're going to make it through this. Yeah.
I think
the year is
it's
2006,
holes,
Xbox 360's out. You have like 5 boys in a room with the PS1 that we have to share, and we're like, we're going to make it through this.
Yeah. I have a list that you sent me. You sent me a very nice letter with this book. I really appreciate it. And you also
that letter needed 200 rewrites, by the way. You should have seen some of the old letters I was trying to write.
You started on the wrong side of the paper too, I noticed, but we don't need to.
Oh yeah, I wasn't paying attention when I stapled it. I had to hurry and get it over to the post office.
You had to hurry. Look at the size of the hurried letter, Sean.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he had a lot to say.
I really appreciate it. You have some really fascinating stories. It says, here's a comprehensive list of stories I want to tell Dick someday. The time I shit myself on Easter Sunday, which was yesterday.
Oh yeah.
That's story.
Oh yeah. When it was Easter, I went and had McDonald's and I gave myself food poisoning. And then when I was on my way home, I shat myself. But thank God nobody saw me do it. So I kind of just it was like, well, this could be worse.
Well, how'd you deal with the shit?
Do you need more pants?
like so the closest McDonald's near my house is like an hour walk, and since there's no buses on Easter, I had to walk all the way there.
Okay.
So I ate there, and then I'm walking all the way back to my house, and I'm like 45 minutes into the walk, and then I shit myself. Thankfully, there were no people to see me shit myself, so it was really bad. But
What'd you have? What'd you have to eat?
Yeah. I had a chicken nugget, which I almost choked on.
You had a chicken nugget, and you shit a chicken nugget?
A chicken nugget?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
I've choked on chicken nuggets and I shat myself.
Did you just crab walk back to the house with shit in your pants?
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, because there's no public bathrooms anywhere in my city, so if you really have to go, you got to hold it in and pray. Yeah.
Yeah. And you don't live in like a crack den now, right?
No, I live in a crack neighborhood, but I don't live in a crack den.
Oh, okay.
Number 2, the time I shit myself at the Oakland A's baseball stadium. Parentheses,
theme.
Accident, it says.
Are there some that says on purpose?
Back in my old foster home, there used to be all kinds of random strangers who would donate us to stuff because it makes good for a tax exempt. And we got tickets to the Oakland A Stadium, and we got front row seats. Now, the problem is if you actually been to the Oakland A Stadium...
It's a shithole.
Yeah, it's really big, and the bathroom is halfway across the stadium.
Right.
So when I had to climb all the way up those stairs, I still had to circle around the entire arena to find the bathroom. By the time I got there, I shat my pants. So I then had to go to the bathroom, and I sat there for like hours, and then I had a security guard knock on the door. It's like, bro, you've been in there for hours. What are you doing? It's like, bro, I crap myself. I'm like, somebody's got to use that bathroom, dude. It's like, bro, find me some pants. So he found me a jacket, and he told me to wear it like pants. And that's basically what I did for the whole day.
Like a skirt?
He probably meant tie it around your waist.
Yeah, how did you wear it? Pants, how did you wear the jacket?
I basically flipped the jacket upside down, and then I just lifted it up to my chest, and I held it like pants, and I held it on both sides, because, you can't hold this up with a belt, so you have to hold it up.
Yeah.
So you have this guy who's walking back into the arena, like, holding a jacket underneath his stomach area, and he's, like, trotting along. I feel like Eric Andre in that one skit where he's got, like, somebody on his shoulders, and he's walking into a car lot. Yeah.
Did you put your legs through the sleeves?
Yeah.
Yeah. Pants, because, I had to throw out the other pair of pants because I wasn't going to keep a pair of shit-covered pants in my backpack.
No wonder
found the closest garbage can I can, threw them in there.
They didn't have an extra set of pants for you? Like, nobody at the whole fucking stadium? They didn't have lost and found with pants?
Not they're going to give them.
Oakland A Stadium.
Look how he treated the first pair. They're not going to...
Like, bro, I can't help you.
They have so much training equipment at the stadium. They easily could have found you some fucking pants.
It would have taken effort.
Yeah, it would have taken a tiny bit of effort.
Yeah.
But they gave you a jacket? It's pretty good.
Yeah, they gave me a jacket to wear as pants. Yeah.
Okay.
It had shit in it, probably.
Did you just leave your underpants and your pants in the stall?
I threw them in the garbage. I threw them both in the garbage. I put on the jacket, his pants, and I walked back to my seat. They were like, "Why the hell? Where are your pants?" I'm like, "You don't want to know."
So your underwear didn't help. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if hopefully that would maybe create a buffer between you and your pants, and you could just throw away your underwear.
Why did you leave it for so
Sean,
long before you had to shit?
No, Sean, you don't get it. The shit wasn't solid. It was like a liquid mass.
Yeah.
It was like a can of...
Okay. Down the legs and everything. Yeah,
like
I mean...
that.
Well, I mean, I guess a lot came out.
If you're shitting your pants, it's not a big piece of poop.
Yeah, well, no, true. But you sometimes maybe not that much comes out. But apparently enough to...
I remember at one point in time I shat in my social worker's car, and he looked at me and said, "You did not just shit in my car."
This happens a lot.
Murray, you have to shit like regularly.
It's probably just diet.
Like
or
you
something,
should go at like regular intervals, even when you almost don't have to go.
I once sat on my friend's car and his license plate popped off.
Yeah.
Because you're so fat or because of shit?
I mean, I sat on the hood of the car and the license plate just popped off. Yeah.
Okay.
The entire license plate?
Yeah, just popped off. It was like that time I sat on my desk and then it broke. I had one guy run over to me. It's like, Murr, you have a thunder ass. Yeah.
Yeah, you got a 52-inch waistline. You're enormous. How much do you
I'm
weigh?
thinner than Vito, though.
How much do you weigh?
I have no idea.
What if we send you if we send you a scale? Do you have access to a scale, or can we send you one?
Yeah, one downstairs. Like literally after the call, I'll go weigh myself and I'll tell you right then.
Okay.
I'll also send you that PDF.
Okay. The time I ate ramen for 30 days and ended up in the hospital.
Oh, yeah. I told Justin Wang that story. When I was in college, I had nothing in my house other than ramen, baby carrots, and granola to eat. That was all the food I had in the house. I went over to a food bank and I learned that one crate of ramen, which is 500 packets of ramen, is worth $1. So every ramen in there is like 1 cent. So I thought to myself, all right, I'm going to live the Naruto down. I'm going to eat ramen for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So what I would do is I would open the ramen up from the packet and I would eat it raw like a cracker, and I'd do this every day for 3 days. 28 days later, I ended up in the hospital, and I had a guy go over to me. It's like, Murr, I don't know how to tell you this, but you have an ulcer the size of a golf ball. What have you been eating? It's like ramen, raw. Yeah.
So you learned that from watching Naruto?
I would think he hadn't shit for 30 days.
No, I called it the Naruto diet. So I got this weird chalky white substance that was kind of like a super laxative, and when they gave it to me, I just shat for like 5 hours.
Yeah.
It's like, Murr, you need to shit that ulcer out because you can't eat ramen anymore. You almost gave yourself like a pseudo heart attack eating all this stuff. So I went home and I threw the rest of the ramen out. I'm like, not eating ramen anymore.
Shit an ulcer out? What do you mean?
So the guy said you have something in your stomach that looks like an ulcer, or if it's like really bad constipation, or like a gas pocket or something. It looks like an ulcer.
Was this a doctor or a guy?
Doctor.
A doctor.
He gave me like this weird white
addicted to black tar heroin.
I drank it and I just shat liquid for hours. I was so dehydrated when I was done.
Oh God. Okay.
Eat some salty ramen.
So don't do that for 30 days in a row. You're saying
right?
That's what you learned. This is you had a 10-day psychological evaluation. Is this Vallejo?
Oh yeah.
Vallejo or Vallejo?
There's a person. Yeah, there's a person in chat right now who said, "Wait a minute, did Murr say he was really on Seroquel and Zoloft of that high of a dose for like, a long time?" I'm like, yeah,
yes,
I went to a place in Vallejo called St. Helina. Okay. I was put there when I was 13. That was back when I was really manic, like manic to the point where I threw a cinder block through the window of someone's car.
What kind of car was it?
It was like a Rolls Royce.
Oh, why'd you do that? Whose car was it?
I was angry.
Yeah.
Like, if you lived in a foster home, you'd be angry too.
Yeah.
So when you're bullied in school and you live in a foster home, yeah. So I got told it's like so.
Do you remember the day? Do you remember the day you did it? Through the cinder block through the car? What happened that day?
I think it was like maybe the month after my 13th birthday because I got arrested and then I got taken to St. Helena and they told me it's like, we're not taking you to juvie, but you are going to be spending some time in this psych ward. So they took me there and the first thing that happened was that the people who work there are a lot like the people who were at my previous foster home. Not the one that I was at, the one previous to that. Mm-hmm. And they told me it's like, listen, we're here, you're under our supervision, so if you give us any kind of shit, I mean at all, you're going into ISO. And I looked at the ISO room, it's like, yep, it's exactly like my old foster home. So the first thing that happened was that they took me to my room, and I sat down, I lied down in my bed. My bed. And the first thing I realized is that I'm having a hard time breathing right now. And I realized that somebody was suffocating me. Because a fat guy went into my room and put a pillow on my face and just started pressing down and just trying to, suffocate all the air out of my lungs. And then 2 doctors came and grabbed him, restrained him, and put him into ISO. So that was when I learned that my room was next to ISO.
You realized that I'm having a hard time breathing, and then you realized that someone was trying to suffocate you? My girlfriend tells stories exactly like
I
this.
lied down, I closed my eyes, and then someone ran into my room and put a pillow on my face and tried to suffocate me.
Why?
Another inmate?
They just don't like you? They just don't like the way you look?
Literally another person there.
Was it his car?
He had so I was there for anger issues. He was there for severe schizophrenia. And the moment I came in, he just had the mental conclusion that he wanted to kill me.
Yeah.
Like he ran in, he put the pillow on my face, he tried to just suffocate all the air out of my lungs, and they went and restrained him. They took him into ISO, and then I listened to him scream in his room all day. Days that I was fucking
Did you feel good about that? Like, fuck you, guy. Take that.
So in the 10 days that I was there, I had to listen to this dude scream because he was constantly being sent to that room. I spent 10 days there, like, being put on Seroquel and Zoloft. They gave me 980 milligrams of fucking Zoloft and 780 milligrams of Seroquel. And, like, I remember one time I woke up and I looked outside. I'm like, wow, I got up early today. The fucking sun's out. And then I realized it was 6 in the afternoon. I'm like, was there just a moment I just stopped breathing? Because why the hell is the sun out? Like I am microdosing on like these fucking antidepressants that I don't even want, and like fucking.
That's not
Jesus.
a microdose.
I remember.
I don't know what the dosages are on those.
Yeah,
they seems high. When I hear hundreds of anything, that's usually high. For
unless it's like a cheeseburger.
You know, like the full dose of Lexapro is like 20 milligrams.
Yeah.
I remember when they first put me on that stuff, I had like a tweak in my neck, and all of a sudden I was having a hard time trying to like keep my neck straight. Like it was like an owl like turning my neck. And they came over to me, they like shot something into my neck, and they took me back to my room.
They did what? Sorry.
So I was having a hard time like, you know, adjusting to my meds because my neck was like spazzing out or whatever. So they like shot something into my neck. They took me back to my room, and I woke up, and it was the following day. So I woke up at 6. Had like a weird tweaking session, and then they shot something in my neck, and I woke up the next day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was your 10 days in, that was your psych eval for 10 days.
Yeah.
Did they figure out what to...
I think on the 9th day, they finally let me to go outside to the smoking lounge, and I rolled up into a ball, and I started crying because, like, you know, they have like this one little patch of fake grass, and I just rolled into a ball, and I'm like, I want to go home! I spent the whole time there reading Goosebumps and playing air hockey. Yeah.
Wow.
What was your favorite Goosebump?
Probably the one where they go into the basement. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you got a lot of stuff about foster kids in here. Man, that's like a whole other can of worms. Maybe
seriously.
Next time you call in, tell us about foster kid stuff, because that sounds like a fucking nightmare.
Okay. Yeah, I've got hundreds of stories. Yeah,
I'm gonna
down at my old foster home because I had a charity event there. Go over to them. It's like, you guys are literally the worst human beings on the planet. This kid has told us horrible things about you. Don't ever associate with us again. And the woman who ran that foster home went over to me. It's like, I want you to pack your shit and get out of here. Like the microsecond you turn 18. Yeah. I remember I was at my college.
What did you tell them? So you like shut down her money train. You like sold her out and okay, go ahead.
Money train would imply that the foster home, which was a nonprofit, was making any money, which we weren't. It was losing money, like hundreds by the day. So we had this house on the property that they were going to convert into a place for kids who turned 18, you know, a place for them to go. But the problem is, if you're living at this horrible foster home, you don't want to deal with the people who work here or associate with it in any way. So they have all these people who are, you know, really gung-ho on the people that they are really wanting to put in this house, and they already have like all kinds of shit like dealing with right now, and they don't want to go. I'm the only one who's interested because, you know, I don't really have any plans after when I turn 18. But when I went over to the charity group, because they wanted me to go over there and like say good things about them, I'm like, I'm not doing that. Are you fucking insane? I hate everything about you guys. So I go over there and I tell them what's really happening over there, and they call the woman who runs this foster home who's having
What did you tell them? What was really happening?
I was telling them, it's like, bro. I was like, bro, the people who work over at this foster home like are unqualified. I feel like the only people who are like getting any kind of like job representation here are they go into their meeting and it's like, oh, do you have a driver's license? Yeah, congratulations, you're a foster parent now. Like, not even putting any real reference point into an app like outside of like, can you drive the van? Yeah. So, like, the woman who's running this foster home is having a garden party, you know, for all of the kids who have pretty much not told her yet. It's like, we're not going into this house. So, like, she gets a call on her phone, and, like, they're calling her. They're telling her, it's like, we don't want to associate with you. We don't want to use your house to put those kids in there. Yeah. So she then went over to me and was like, Sid, I want you to pack your shit and get out of here. You embarrassed me in front of all these potential fucking investors. I'm like, bro, I don't give a shit. I hate this place. You're a terrible person. You should feel shame for what you did. And the gates to hell, you're going there. Yeah.
Any kind of, like, molesting kids happen at this place? Do you see any of that?
I I heard a rumor once, not in regards to any of the people who were there, but like I remember hearing somebody tell me offhandedly, it's like, now the reason why we have news people come over to our foster place, but we don't have any of the foster children on screen is for their privacy reasons.
Yeah.
And I thought, that makes total sense. Yeah. But it also feels a little fucked up because, and it paints the area in like a positive like image. It's like, here's the foster home. Oh, we're not going to put them in front of the camera. Well, I mean, do the kids want to tell anything about how their time is spent at the foster home? Nope. And they just end it there.
That's true. Yeah. That makes sense. Well, shit, man. I don't know. I got to read your grandpa's book.
So this
looks like a nice guy. Yeah.
This is a book. Who wrote this book?
You like this guy,
nice
right?
Guy.
Yeah, you like him. He looks like a nice guy.
Oh, he was the best. Unironically, we stayed in touch after the fucking Children's Village shut down.
Yeah. So what age did you meet him at?
I think it was 11 when I met him.
Yeah, see, I think I have an idea where his goodness comes from. Yeah, like you had one person who didn't fuck you over, right?
Yeah.
That's it.
That's the nicest human being I met there. Yeah. He was easily like, he brought a light that I haven't felt in a while. Him and another person who worked there who is also not with us anymore. He was just a really nice person. It felt normal knowing somebody who feels really bad for you in like a situation that feels all fucked up. And when you have to spend 6 years there, it's not exactly like the greatest usage of your time because I feel like you look outside and you look at like the front driveway and you say to yourself, I can leave, but where would I go?
Right.
So you just feel like you're trapped on an island. Like
you're
like a mental
you're
prison.
a kid.
Yeah.
You're a kid. You don't have any say over your own life. You know what I mean? Especially in that situation. Yeah, man, that's good that you that somebody was in there kind of, treating you like a person for no ulterior motive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like this show.
Right.
Well, what are you doing now? Do you got any new direction that your pornography is going in, or you got any like projects that you're working on?
No. In fact, I've pretty much basically retired from shitposting because if you're broke, you can't buy Wonderbread art, and that doesn't really fit the gimmick now, does it?
You're broke? You don't have a job right now? You're just doing like getting by on welfare and stuff?
I'm exactly 1 year and 7 months into my internship. See, when you have a boss that treats you like an intern, they don't exactly want to pay you. Yeah. I'm pretty much paid in toilet paper and fruit pies. Yeah.
Which
fruit pies?
Well, they'll go together like peanut butter and jelly, right? I mean, fruit pies, you need the toilet paper.
How many fruit pies you get?
Yeah.
I get like 2. I get like green and red. Because it's the only flavors they have.
It's funny that you and Vito are the same amount of productive. Both of you produce the same amount of value for society, and yet Vito's rewarded for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, okay.
I want Vito to consider my sumo idea. We could probably make like a bunch of money for like a charity event. I think it'd be funny.
Okay.
Somebody's shitting themselves.
I'll ask him. I'll bring it up to him. Yeah. We're going to have to get a weigh-in for you because Vito's like 292.
We'll have it outside Dick's backyard.
I don't know why we need a moat. Why do we need a moat?
It's funny.
It's funnier just if you guys are in sumo diapers, you don't need a moat involved in it.
Might need to rinse off afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll rinse you off. Don't worry about that. Where would you go? And Vito's how would you approach Vito? Where would you try to grab him and flip him over?
Look, because you both have to get into like a squatting formation. You both got to lift both sides of your feet, and you got to stomp down, and then you got to run like a football guy who has to hit the tackling dummy. And I feel like all I got to do is I got to go for Vito's legs, and then he'll fall. But me
He's
falling,
got skinny legs.
Or
He's
Vito
got little
falling
legs.
on me,
Yeah.
Vito falling on me doesn't exactly push me out of the circle, so I'm not going to lose in that regard. All I got to do is just push Vito out of the circle, and we're good. We're golden. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I would bet on you. I don't know. You seem to have a good game plan. I don't know if Vito has that. And you do. You sound like you have big legs, right? 52-inch waist. That's a big leg.
I mean,
I walk everywhere, so
that's true.
I mean, it's
Vito drives everywhere.
Right.
I've never seen him walk.
That's true.
He just floats down like the guy in
I
Dune.
once had someone tell me, he's like, Murray, you walk like Usain Bolt runs. Like, you're in 4 different places at once, and no one can never know where you are at any point. Yeah.
I heard this.
Who do you know that tells you these things? Who are like your contemporary, your friends up there?
people in my art streams. Yeah.
And where can we go to see your art streams? You should. I mean, you got to do something. I thought you were going to draw some stuff for me. Remember when you said you're going to draw every day and send it in?
Yeah. I think I ended up losing that art book that I forgot the guy who sent it to me, but I think it got stolen.
Stolen? Motherfucker.
Disappeared in any case.
All right. Well, if you can think of anything to raise money for Riley's legal defense, besides the sumo thing, obviously I'll bring that up to Vito.
I think he should just go to a foster home myself.
Vito?
Riley.
Riley be running that.
No shit.
Foster home.
No
He'll take
shit.
it over from the inside.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you can think of anything else, let us know, man.
I was in the idea of wanting to market bacon fat as a dipping sauce.
Sounds disgusting.
Wow.
What do you dip in it?
How do you keep it liquid?
Well, you see, bacon fat kind of coagulates after a while, and I thought this was my version of a shower. I was like, if people can rub coconut oil on their body, why can't I eat bacon fat? Makes total sense.
You know what? It totally does.
Totally does.
It totally does.
It coagulates, and it's got the texture consistency of chunky salsa.
Yeah.
It tastes like guac if you pretend. Yeah.
It sounds disgusting though. Coagulated bacon fat.
Oh, you see,
a little flavoring in it, maybe.
Yeah.
See, it looks like paste, but like Dick. Let's say you're at a restaurant, right, and you're thinking about your wagyu, and you're asking, "What would you like with your steak?" It's like, man, just smear a thing of bacon fat on it because it's spreadable and edible.
Okay, I'm on board now. Yeah, I agree with you now.
Spreadable and edible. He's
Like
even
marrow.
got the fucking tagline. Like he's.
See what I mean?
Yeah.
There's nothing concrete saying that he shouldn't be a huge success. You know?
No,
Spreadable and edible.
I know.
All this shit that he's saying.
I
All
know.
right, Murr, do you have anything else? You got any URLs or anything
No,
you want to send
I'm
people
actually. No. I mean, I got a friend who could really use some help, but I'll send you that in a DM.
Well, tell me who it is. What help with what?
It's a friend who shits his pants a
So
lot.
I've got a friend in New York who is having a lot of similar problems that I have. Because the economy is really bad and whatever. It's
it Trump?
basically the equivalent. Huh?
Is it Trump? Is that who you're talking about?
No, it's just a friend who lives in New York. She needs stuff and just needs support. And I thought to myself, it's like, I know a lot of people who are really supportive of me. Like maybe if they were feeling generous, they could help her if they feel it.
Yeah.
Because you know how you made me
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, because you know how you made me a Throne account? Well, she has one, and it'd be real nice if people were, open to there's no obligation to do it, but be really, really supportive. I like to,
We like helping men, though. We're not so big on helping women.
Okay, it was just an
I'm like
idea.
Robin Hood. I like stealing from women and giving it to men. That's my whole deal.
Right.
Yeah.
Paste her throne link. Let me paste her throne link in this general chat here.
I'll DM it to you later. I mean, I actually gotta go right now. I've
you gotta
something's
go?
happening right now. I gotta get going.
Something's happening.
Something's happening. I hope
Something's happening.
It's not something bad.
Is it related with this girl? What do you mean?
No, there's just there's stuff that's happening right outside. I gotta get going right now. So it was good to hear from you.
Okay, it was good to talk to you. Call in again.
Hope everything works out.
Yeah.
Is he gone?
Okay.
There he goes.
Okay. Goodbye, Murr. Good luck.
Okay. Something's going on outside. Well, I'll check the news in about an hour.
I gotta go right now.
Yeah.
Something's going on outside.
I don't know what's going on. Yeah. Oh, boy.
I didn't get to hear about that girl, though.
Yeah, that's true.
It is I, the Niggler, and I need you to subscribe to, it says here, Clips